My name is Eric Bailey, and I'm going to be your MC for the next 4 days, and also I am going to try to motivate, inspire, and activate each and every one of you to understand that your future is now. Turn to the person next to you and say, your future is now. This time when you say it to them, I want you to shake their hands and say, I believe that you can accomplish all of the things that you would like to accomplish in your life if you take action now. If you can remember that, go ahead. Go ahead, just try that. Go ahead. Okay, now, before we get into some really fun stuff, I just want to point out the obvious. Today, I know many of you possibly have never been to an 21st century event before, so I'm going to give you some of our rules. Number one, the toilets, bathrooms are out, straight out, and the lifts are just out to the left. During lunchtime, there are plenty of places to eat downstairs. During the course of the next 4 days, you're going to receive a lot of information from a lot of different speakers, and we advise that you definitely take notes. I see the young lady. What's your name? Rebecca. Rebecca, how old are you? 11 years of age. 11 years of age, she's got her notepad there, and she's got her pen, and she's ready to take some notes. I think if an 11-year-old can do it, I think everybody in the room can do it. What do you think about that? Yes? Can I hear you say yes? Yes. Okay, now one of our other rules is this. Now, this is one of my pet hates, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself, Jamie McIntyre, and all the other speakers, is that if you have a phone, please turn it off, because it's just so distracting to speakers. And I have this thing, if somebody's phone goes off when somebody's on the stage, there's push-ups. Oh, yeah, girl, oh, you wouldn't make me do push-ups. Oh, yes, I will, and I have. So if you have a phone, please turn. Hey, yo. Are you serious? Yo. You kidding me? No. Do you speak English? I just was telling everyone the rules, and you on the phone? I don't care what it was. What it was a distraction to me as a speaker. And what's your name? Lucy. Lucy, how you doing? Now, I'm going to be honest. Have we met before? No. Did we talk before we started? No. When he was on the phone, just be totally honest, did that distract you? Yes. Come on, man, let's go.
You're not serious.
Hands up if you guys think I'm serious. I'm black, I'm from the hood, I'm serious. Let's go, man. Now, normally in a situation like this, I only give 10 to start the day. But because I had this resistance, I'm thinking of a number in my head, something like, I say 40. If he does 40, you guys must stand up, clap, make some noise, and count. Let's go on your feet. Let's go, everybody, get up, get up. He's got 40 for us. You ready? You ready? Let's go. Come on. Let's go. 1, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22. He's good. 23, 24, 25, 26. Oh, man. 28, 30, 31. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40.
Sorry about that.
Okay, all right, okay. So, you all right?
Good.
You need some resuscitation or anything like that? You all right? Okay. So, did everybody learn from that exercise? Please turn the phone off. So we're going to start the day off with basically just a short little exercise. And the exercise is called self-reflection. It's the Gold Coast. Beautiful day out. Nice day to be laying on the beach, tanning. I did mine yesterday. Could be somewhere getting your hair done, you know, just getting the locks. Listen, man, we both bald, so shut your mouth up, all right? So we could be doing a lot of things, but no, we're here. Why? Why are we here? Why did you take time out to come here? What are you here for? Say it again? Educate yourself. That's good. Anybody else? What was that? I'm the only comedian in the house, man. But that's a good one. Anybody else? Why are we here?
Freedom.
Say it again?
Freedom.
Freedom. What else? To grow. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take just 2 minutes. 2 minutes, no music, just 2 minutes, nice silence, reflect. And I want you to write down on your pads that's in your books, why are you here today? What are you hoping to get? Because if you are here just to get something, anything, chances are you will get absolutely zero. You know why? Because if you're going someplace where you don't know where you're going, you don't know why you're going there, you're just going to be aimlessly moving around for life. But if you come somewhere expecting to get 1, 2, or 3 solid, specific things, chances are if you get one of them, at least now you have some direction. And that's what we're all about. Jamie McIntyre has founded this company on education and then founded on people having the ability to take the education, move, take action, and improve their lives. So write down maybe 1, 2, or 3 things that you're hoping to take out of the next 4 days. Okay, I'm a big believer in been writing things down, but I'm an even bigger believer in sharing what's on your heart. I believe that if you can say it, if you can believe it, if you can focus on your outcomes and really see yourself actually achieving them, chances are you will get there. And the other thing I believe in is having pride in who you are and where you want to go in your life. There are so many people in the world who walk around and say, oh, I want to buy a house. I want to have some money. I kind of want to be healthy. Those type of people who say it like that, they don't say it like they mean it, do they? The most important thing that you can do is put some power in your statement. What's your name?
Mike.
Mike, how you doing, Mike? My name is Eric Bailey. I'm a professional speaker. I travel the world talking about activating people's lives. When I said that, did you believe it?
Yep.
Exactly. And because when you say it like you believe it, you know what you're going to do? You're going to get other people to buy in to what you want to do in your life, and those people possibly help you get to where you want to go. We're going to do a little exercise. I want everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. I want you to take 5 minutes. I want you to find 5 people, and I want you to tell them what your outcomes are, just like you've already have received them. So go. How many people in the room actually felt empowerment and felt like you were liberating yourself by being able to actually speak out what was in your heart? Hands up. Did anybody find that a difficult exercise? Hands up. Okay, and that's okay, because over the next 4 days, what 21st century Jamie McIntyre and all of us want to accomplish is that each and every one of you, when you do leave here, you leave here better off than how you are now. Because what we want to do is we want to pour water onto that seed of yours so we can help you grow. Now, all over the country, all over the world, there are lots of seminars. There are lots of gatherings. There's lots of events where people go and try to better themselves. But I'd like to think that what we do here is give each and every one of our audience members a well-rounded, total package of knowledge, experience, passion, energy, and substance so that they can grow, so they can reach their fullest potential. Over the next 4 days, you will have the opportunity to invest in your future, whether it's property, whether it's shares, whether it's internet marketing, business building. If you're looking for coaching, mentoring, we do it all. My role in all of this is helping people to realize that deep within themselves, that their greatest is yet to come. And the only thing that's stopping that greatness from shining through is you. That's it. No one else. My father told me a story back when I was a little child. The story goes like this. There was a little boy and his father, and they went for a walk. And as they went for a walk, the father was talking to the son about just life. Son, you can be anything. How many people have heard that before? You can be anything. The father said, you know what? All you have to do is just believe. Anybody heard that before? The father said to the son, but you know what, son? You got to stop making excuses. Who's heard that before? Hands up if you heard that one before. Those of you who have your hands up, let me ask you one question. Have you been making some excuses about some of the things that you want to do or things that you can't do in your life? Put your hands up. So we have a lot of people in here who can relate to this story. The story gets even better now, Crystal. It gets real good. So as they were walking, the father and the son, they walked past a house, and on the porch, there's an old man. But by his side is a dog. The dog is cuddly. Anybody got dogs at home? Isn't it nice to have your dog just by your feet and you just rub it, all your stress leaves? And by his feet, the dog was there, and the little boy said, your dog, why is he moaning, groaning, and complaining? Because he's got a water bowl there. He's got his food. He's got a bone. He's got a rubber toy. He's got a blanket. He's got everything that he needs, but yet and still, he's moaning, groaning, and complaining. Examine your life right now. Just examine all the things in your life, how good you got it, because let me tell you something, you Australians, you got it good. I'm an Australian. I've been here since 1982. I'm an Australian. I got it pretty good too. We all do. But how many of us find time to moan, groan, and complain? Hands up. About something. Stuff that's really not really that bad when you think about it, right? So here was this dog moaning, groaning, and complaining, and the father said, son, ask the owner. So the owner said, excuse me, sir, I'm looking at your dog. He seems to be okay from the outside. Why is he moaning, groaning, and complaining? And the owner just so calmly looked at the little boy, looked at the dog, and said, oh, that's easy. He's sitting on a nail. He's sitting on a nail? Yeah. It's just stabbing him in the back right now. The little boy was perplexed. He said to the owner, well then, if he's sitting on a nail, why does he just get off it? You know what the owner said nice and calmly? It's not hurting enough yet. It's not hurting enough yet. So the dog was willing to suffer in pain because he refused to get off the nail and make a move. Gold Coast audience, for those of you who are sitting in the room and can understand what my next question is probably going to do for you internally, is this. If in your life there are some things that are not going so well, if there's some things that you know that you want to accomplish, create in your life, then what's stopping you from getting up off that thing and taking some action? What's holding you back? Who? Not me, man. I'm not trying to help you. You're right. You, not the government. I was watching TV this morning, and they were talking about this big ALP conference, and they were talking about how they're going to change the world. All the things are going to be tabled in the amendments, and I was watching some other news channel. Oh, yeah, we're going to do this for our people. Hey, we've got to stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and just take care of here. Because at the end of the day, the world will only reward you on what? Your actions. Your actions. And as a success coach, that's what I'm all about. I'm about teaching people how to get off the nail, stop complaining, and set themselves up for their future. The problem is, as I look around the room, is we get conditioned to believe that what we're doing is our only alternative. So we get into a same pattern, a routine. Anybody here in some bad routines? Hands up high. Anybody in some bad routines? If you think your routine is a little bit not so good, I want you to take a look at this and tell me if you can relate to what I'm about to show you right now. Please write this down on a piece of paper. I will not be the best that never was. I will not be the best that never was. Because it's very unfortunate that there are so many people who have unlimited potential, creative ideas, untapped resources, spend their entire life only thinking about it and never actually executing it. And when that happens, you spend the rest of your life doing that. And then when you end up leaving this planet, you take what you coulda, woulda, shoulda with you. Not only do you miss out, but mankind, your family, and everyone else around you who you had the ability to uplift, edify, and make better, they miss it. Because you simply chose not to take action. I'm standing on this stage right now because once upon a time, I was on a nail. As a matter of fact, when I came into the world, from day one, I was on a nail. From birth, my biological parents saw me come into the world with a smile, and then heard the news that potentially I would never, ever, ever be normal. I would never play sport. I wouldn't be like all the other kids. And from that point onwards, my parents decided that they would make a decision. And the decision was simply, we don't have to keep you. We can give you away to the state of California and let somebody else raise you. We can go back to the drawing board, start all over again, and we can finally happily have a child that will do the things that we know great children will do. So yes, they gave me away. And at that moment, the nail was in. I turned 51 years of age last Saturday. And I'm happy to say to each and every one of you, the nail, don't feel it. Because I decided to take some action. And the action I took led me to who I am and where I am today. And I'm going to challenge each and every one of you right now. That nail that's in you, it doesn't have to grow and hold you back. But what you will have to do is to make a conscious decision that over the next 4 days, you're going to take some action. A lot of people come to these events and they sit in the back row and they sort of look kind of shy, and you come up, you talk to them, and I go, are you happy to be here? Oh, yeah, I am happy to be here, but I told my spouse, I told a friend of mine that I was coming here, and they said, oh, what are you going to a cult for? Why are you going to one of those things? They're going to brainwash you. We're not going to brainwash you. We're simply going to enlighten you. We're going to give you a license to believe that your future is in your own hands and not in someone else's hands. How many of you guys like that idea? Who likes that notion? So while you're sitting here right now, I want you to don't worry about what anybody else has said, what anybody else is thinking. This is your time. This is your world. But in order for you to benefit from this time that you're here, you got to let go. Let go of the past. Let go of preconceived ideas and notions. Let go of all those fears. For 4 days, it's all about you. It's all about you, my brother. It's all about you. I met a very intelligent and enlightening individual about 6 years ago. This man knows what it takes to become the best. And I want to share some of his tips with you.
I have a great time with my life, and I want to share it. I love living. I think that's infectious. It's something that you can't fake. Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. You know, it's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it.
Yeah.
Period. It's that simple.
I know who I am, and I know what I believe.
I know who I am, I know what I believe.
That's all I need to know.
And that's all I need to know. So from there, you do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I think what happens is we make the situation more complex than it has to be.
Because we're looking for complexity. There's got to be something complex to understand.
It can't be that easy.
No.
We didn't grow up with the sense that where we were was where we were going to be. You know, we grew up with the sense that where we were almost didn't matter because
we were becoming
right. Something greater.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
I've never really viewed myself as particularly talented. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. You know, while the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working.
There's no easy way around it. No matter how talented you are, your talent is going to fail you if you're not skilled. You know, if you don't study, if you don't work really hard and dedicate yourself to being better every single day, you'll never be able to communicate with people, with your artistry, the way that you want. So
the only thing that I see that is distinctly different about me is I'm not afraid to die on a treadmill. You might have more talent than me, you might be smarter than me, but if we get on the treadmill together, right, there's two things. You're getting off first, or I'm going to die. It's really that simple.
One summer, his dad tore down a brick wall on the front of his business and told 12-year-old Will and his 9-year-old brother to rebuild it, a job they said was impossible. It took them a year and a half, but they did it.
And he said, now don't you ever tell me it's something that you can't do. You don't try to build a wall. You don't set out to build a wall. You don't say, I'm going to build the biggest, baddest, greatest wall that's ever been built. You don't start there. You say, I'm going to lay this brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you do that every single day.
And soon you have a wall.
And soon you have a wall.
You know, it's an idea that my grandmother always had, that, you know, if you're going to be here, then there's a necessity to make a difference. She always instilled the responsibility, the spiritual responsibility that you have to make every group you come in contact with better.
I want to do good. I want the world to be better because I was here. I want my life, I want my work, my family, I want it to mean something. And it's like, it has, if you are not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time. You know, like your life will become better by making other lives better. I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. And I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. The first step before anybody else in the world believes it is you have to believe it. There's no reason to have a plan B because it distracts from plan A. I think that there's a certain delusional quality that all successful people have to have. You have to believe that something different than what has happened for the last 50 million years of history. You have to believe that something different can happen.
Confucius said, he who says he can and he who says he can't are both usually right.
I've spoken in over 10 countries. I've spoken to over 2 million people. I've coached and mentored hundreds of people in all walks of life. The only thing that I want to do for the rest of my life is to simply help people lay down that first brick. Because if you can lay down that first brick perfectly, symmetrically, then you know how to do the rest. And Will Smith said something very profound in that clip. When someone else is sleeping, when they're having fun, when they're jumping up and down and enjoying the spoils of their work, he's sitting back analyzing and going, okay, maybe I'll do that just for a little while, but then I got to get back to it until the job is done. Until the job is done. I played professional basketball. I had very bad knees. On the team that I was on, whether it be in America or here with the Melbourne Tigers, the Hobart Devils, or the Gold Coast Rollers, I'll be the first one to tell you, okay? I'll be the first one to tell you, on paper, I was the worst player on the team. What's your name? Aaron? Can I tell you something right now, my brother? I was the slowest person on the team. I was number 12 on a team of 12 players. But you know how I survived for 16 years as a professional basketball, as one of the best on the planet? Is because when practice started at 9 a.m. in the morning, I was there, Peter, at 7:30. When practice finished at noon, Matthew, I stayed until 2 o'clock. And you know why I did that? It's because I wanted to show the coaching staff that I take what I do extremely serious and that I wanted to be better than just average. I wanted the coach to walk down the end of the bench during a game and in his mind go, I need somebody I'm going to put in the game who I know is going to give me 100% no matter what the score is, whether we're up by 40 or whether we're down by 40. I want to put somebody in the game who I know won't quit on me, who won't say, oh, you know what, the game is over. And once in my career that highlighted this was right here on the Gold Coast when I played for the Gold Coast Rollers. We had a guy on our team by the name of Mike Mitchell. He had just come back from the NBA. He was awesome. He was the best player in the league. He was making about $180,000 a year, which was the highest paid player in the year. And in the fourth quarter, he got kicked out of the game because he picked up his 5th foul. We were playing against the North Melbourne Giants. They were undefeated at the time. We weren't supposed to even come near them. And the coach walked down to the end of the bench, and this is what he said. He said, Eric, we're losing anyway. You haven't played much of the year, so just go in there and see what you can do. My subconscious told me, Peter, wow, he's putting you in the game against the best team. You're going to embarrass yourself. But then the other part of my subconscious said, you're living for this moment. Be the greatest that you can be. And that's what I want to leave with each and every one of you. In everything that you do, in every situation, be the greatest that you can be, irrespective of what the world thinks or says. I heard Richard Branson say this about 5 years ago. When you think about yourself, dream and aspire to be 10 times bigger and badder and better than what anybody else can think, say, or accomplish themselves. Which means with that, you would always push yourself past your own expectation levels of yourself. At that time when I heard him speak, I had just really started to develop my speaking business. And I remember him saying that, and I thought to myself, right, okay, whatever I had been doing in the past, I think I can do just a little bit more. I think I could push myself just a little bit more. Is there anybody in this room who can push themselves a little bit more? Yeah, we can. Is there anybody in this room who could see themselves doing some potentially outrageous things in their life? Hands up. Yep. Is there anybody in this room who can right now, if you had a mirror, look at yourself in the mirror and say, from this day forward, I know that my future is much better than my past? Put your hands up. Well, then that's what I want you to concentrate on. Concentrate on your future and not your present. If you look at a man the way he is, he only looks what? Worse. Worse. I mean, if you stare at me long enough, you will say, wow, man, you do look like you're 51. No, but if you glance at me, oh, man, baby, you cool. You look like you about 30. I say, thank you very much, baby. I know that. If you look at me long enough, you can see some gray hairs. But right now, if you just glance at me, you can't really tell. You think, wow, man, you look good. It's nice. But if you look at a situation and just keep staring at it and just dwelling on your problems, things are going to go boom. But if you look at a situation and yourself the way it could be, which means you place emphasis on what's possible, then it will be as it should be. So when I stepped on the court, I didn't worry about playing against the best team in the league. I already saw myself dominating. I scored 19 points in 4 minutes. 3 seconds left to go in the game. Paul Kuiper, 7 foot, passed the ball to Larry Sinstock, passed it to Ronnie Ratliff. Wide open in the corner, all by myself. I got the ball. Guy ran towards me, jumped in the air, hit a three-pointer right on the buzzer to win the game. Around the world, people clap when I say win the game. Won the game. The team said, Eric, that was fantastic. I said, thanks. The coach walked over to me and said, you could never do that again. But it was okay. You know why? Because I wasn't living for the coach. I was living for what I could do on that night because I chose to believe in me. I was the greatest. And I want each and every one of you to think about it right now. Think about the greatness that's in you. Think about what resonates in you. I want you to right now close your eyes. And I want you to see yourself. See yourself doing exactly that what you have your heart, your mind, and your soul gravitated towards. I want you to believe like you've never believed before in your life that your future is right here, right now. No one can take away your dreams because you are the world's greatest. Despite your age, despite your race, your religion, where you live, your circumstances, your obstacles, your challenges, you're a giant. You are in charge You're in charge of your destiny. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Open your eyes, please. And when that day comes, when you are staring defeat or failure or insecurities, when you're staring that right in the face, that is the time when you then have to dig deep and you have to ask yourself, okay, am I going to let this beat me? Because if you let it beat you on that day, the chances are it will beat you every other single day in your life. In 2007, my father, the man who adopted me, was right here in this country. And he was here because my mother had died in 2004. And here he was, all my life, this pillar, tower of strength. I looked at him and just saw, wow, indestructible. But on this occasion, he was very sick. He had one leg removed, he had diabetes, and he was in a situation where he was in a nursing home, and the doctor said to me, your father will have to have his other leg removed. And when the doctor told me that, the first thing I thought about was, wow, how can I tell my father this? How can I break him down like that? It's going to be tough. He's not going to be able to handle it. Who would like to walk around or be in a situation where you have no legs? And I walked into his room, and as soon as I told him, he looked at me, and his eyes were like, so what? I said, I don't think you understood me. You're going to be legless. Do you understand what that means? You won't be able to walk. How many people in this room would be okay with that? How many people in this room would have a slight problem trying to digest that whole notion about no legs? Oh, yeah, it would be tough. And when I said that to him, he looked at me and said, Eric, let me tell you something right now. As long as I have breath, I have life. Wow. How calm was that, Julie? How calm was that? He said, now get out of here. Tomorrow morning when you come back, bring me some hash browns and an egg McMuffin. I remember driving home and thinking, wow, that's strong. That's looking at something and going, no problem. When I got home, I told my wife and my daughter, and they just was hysterical. I got 2 chihuahuas at home. They were crying. I was like, the dogs, shut up. Told my wife, sit down. Told my daughter, be quiet. I said, as long as he's got breath, he's got life. And then my daughter said, wow, Daddy, did you think of that yourself? I said, yeah. It's going to be the name of my next book. That night I went to bed and I was thinking, here's a man who's going to lose what I thought was everything, but yet still, he's still holding on to something inside, and he's going to continue fighting. And that's what I want you to think about. When you seem to be losing everything around you that's great, don't focus on the bad stuff. Focus on what's good you got in your life. At 10:30 that night, the phone rang. He died that night. I asked the nurse, how could that be when I just spent some time with him? And they said, well, as soon as you left, he called us all into the room and he told us the story about how him and your mother, they adopted you. And he told us about how when they adopted you, they sat down and they made an agreement. They made a pact between the two of them. They said that they decided right then and there that neither one of them could leave the world, die, until they knew that you were ready to go out there and to be the greatest. You know what they did that night? They laid the first brick, didn't they? They put the first brick down. And they had to keep laying those bricks until they knew that the building was built. And even though when my mother died, my father said, I wanted to die too because I was in so much pain. But I knew I still had some more bricks to put on so that you could be whole in your life. So he endured another 2 years just so he could just see it all come to fruition. He endured the pain. And in 2007, when I walked into his room to tell him that he was going to be legless, and he looked into my eyes, and he could tell that I was still there with him all the way to the end, he knew right then and there, well, the building is complete. It's been anchored really well. The foundation is nice, been remodeled. The roof is secure. It's indestructible. So now he could close his eyes and he could go and be with his wife. And they were married for 57 years. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge each and every one of you over the next 4 days now. Lay the brick today, then start building on it. And even when you leave this place and you go back out there into the world where all they try to do is tear you down, go back out there where all they try to do is persecute you, their enviness, their jealousy, their animosity towards you who are doing extremely well in life, also in your mindset, they will try to crumble you, but it doesn't matter because I know that your foundation will be set. Over the next 4 days, let the speakers that come to the stage, let them give you all the tools that you need so that you can start getting your house in order. Because if you don't strengthen that foundation and build that building on a strong base, then the chances are it'll crumble. Jamie McIntyre, when he started this company, in his mind, he had a vision. And his vision was to educate the lives of Australians and other people around the globe to understand that your mind is powerful. But aside from having a powerful mind, you have to have a strong heart and the ability to act out on information and knowledge and then take action so then you can be successful. Over the next 4 days, this company will provide you with what you need to get yourselves on the road and to build that strong foundation so that you can take control of your life and not get stuck in the rut. Hands up, you ready to get off that nail? Hands up, you ready to learn and grow? Hands up, you ready to take control of your life? Who's ready to put down that first brick? Give me some music, DJ. Everybody get on your feet. Find 5 people, give them 25 high five, and tell them, today is the first day of my new life. Go, let's do that, let's go. Pump it up. Give me 2, 3, 4, 5.